You make me promises, promises. I don't know. I don't know all the words to that, but you make me promises, promises. Okay? How many times have we promised ourselves so many things, so many times, and we broke those promises? Like, we can't stand nobody to break promise to us, albeit your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, a politician. We can't stand it when they break promises to us. But we break a lot of promises to ourselves. I know I do. So I'm going to list some reasons or some tips, or I'm just going to talk about promises to yourself that you break. It's a new year, I know, and all this kind of stuff, but this does not, just because it's a new year, just because I'm doing this, it's personal to me, and I want to help somebody while I'm helping myself. So the first thing that we do when we break a promise, and why we may break some promises to ourselves or a promise to ourselves, is a lack of confidence that we can actually achieve our goals. Okay? You tried this thing once, twice, a dozen times, and you can't seem to kick it. You can't seem to do it. It can be something as small as get up earlier. It could be something as tall as achieving that career goal, you know, that people will tell you it's impossible to do. And we lack the confidence. We lack the confidence because we've tried and we failed so much doing this. But we got to reverse that. We got to reverse that thinking, because you can, if you can think it, 9 times out of 10, you can do it. You know, you just have to apply the pressure on yourself. You have to apply yourself. So a lack of confidence to achieve our goals is one of the obstacles that we face when we're making promises to ourselves that we do not keep. Another one is not loving ourselves enough. Not feeling like we're worth it. Not feeling, just not loving ourselves, you know, not feeling that our worth is worth achieving this promise, achieving this goal. We shrink ourselves down, but everybody's on the equal playing field when it comes to just being a human, being a person. I always say there's no one person better than the other person. So no one is better at you being you. No one is better at you being you. Okay? You're unique. Your DNA ain't like nobody else, is not like anybody else's. Okay? God thought of you. He knew you before he framed the world. Before he framed the world, he knew you. Okay? He knew you. He knew your name. He knew everything about you. So that in itself says a lot. Okay? So not loving yourself is saying, God, you know, you were wrong. You were wrong. You created me. I'm 5'11". That's too tall. I can't, you know. Why you have to make me so tall? You know, why you gotta make me this way? Why you gotta make me that way? I'm saying that because I was 5'11". I'm probably about 5'10" and a half now. But I used to always question that. I used to always question, like, why I have to be so tall? You know, I'm a girl. Why I gotta be so tall? All the cute boys, you know, they're shorter than me, and then, you know, on and on and on. I wished I would have had YouTube when I was growing up, because you can find anything and everything on YouTube, you know. So I'm just having some tea because my stomach and my head is trying to hurt. I hope I didn't catch anything. I don't know, but I'm using green tea and this wellness tea that my son bought me for, I think, sometime last year, I think for my birthday, Satonic tea. And it's a good blend. It's caffeine free. It has a lot of different kind of teas in it. It has like clover, ginger. Let's see, I can't see. I have my glasses. So I said, it has red clover, borage, peppermint, sarsaparilla, ginger, licorice root, burdock, cinnamon, nettle, dandelion, honey flavor. It's pretty good, but it's a wellness tea, and it really does work. Really does work. So, anywho, so not loving ourselves enough to believe that we can actually keep this promise to ourselves. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. Just accept all your, shortcomings, all your flaws and everything, and work on them. Work on them. At any age, you always can stand for more improvement. Okay, another one is old habits. Old habits die hard, okay? That's what they say. I'm not being funny about when I say, die hard, okay? But old habits, we don't want to create a new life. We get comfortable and settled into being, comfortable and settled. Just not changing, not wanting to grow. That's called being old. That's called being old. I'm sorry. You could be 42 and be settled in your ways, and you're old, because you don't want to change, you don't want to grow, you want to be stubborn, you want to stay like you are and stay in that mindset and not grow. So you don't want to create a new life for yourself. You're content, but you keep making these promises, but you really don't want to do it. Why? I do not know, but you really don't want to do it. I think it's fear. I think it's really fear when you make promises to yourself and you just say, forget it, I'm scared, Yeah, and then another thing could be the people around you, letting them get in your way of your promise. That could be if I'm trying to quit smoking and my best friend smokes, or my guy smokes, or whatever, and they encourage, oh, girl, come on, one cigarette ain't gonna kill you, one drink ain't gonna kill you, one whatever ain't gonna kill you, just come on, let's do this, let's eat this deep dish pizza, girl, it ain't gonna kill you, come on, let's go get something to eat. That's all y'all do is go get some. Everything is sitting around getting something to eat, and you trying to pull back from that. It could be diet. It could be because you ain't got no money to keep eating out. Keep eating brunch every week for $100. That's too much. Brunch is really expensive. I went the other day with my cousin, and it's expensive. The food was delicious, but it can be expensive. That's something that I will probably only do when she comes to town, or whenever I just really, really want to treat myself. Maybe, do it then, maybe once every couple of months, but no. So that's like letting people around you break your promises to yourself. But you gotta think. You gotta think before you do things. You gotta think, now, is this going to benefit me, or is it not going to benefit my new goal, my new promise? Okay. So another thing is not setting time each day to work on that promise. That's me. You got to set some time aside to work on that promise each day. Okay. Sometimes you don't have enough funds and enough sufficient funds for that promise to yourself. And what you can really do is, obtain it, you got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice sometimes. You got to sacrifice little things, like if you're going to Starbucks every day and that's about $10 a day, that's 5 times a week, that's $50. 50 times 4 is $200. You got to sacrifice sometimes. You maybe get coffee every, Monday and Friday or something like that. But you got to think of ways to sacrifice to keep that promise. It could be a promise to just save $150 or $200 every month, or $100 every month, whatever you want to do. Start out with, but you got to start somewhere. You got to cut some things out, and that's hard. Like I said, it's hard to change. It's hard to change, but you can do it. You can do it. I'm telling you, we can do it. So then this is a big one for a lot of people. Letting your body take over. Breaking that promise to yourself. Maybe that you're not going to see someone anymore, but that person, you're so caught up in them. You're so used to them. You're used to their touch. You're used to their, intimacy. You're used to them talking to you any kind of way. And you just let it roll off your back, all of the above. Okay, for this person, you're sacrificing yourself so much for, just for a feeling maybe, or something like that. And it's just a feeling that might last 5 to 10 minutes if you're lucky, and yeah, and you keep doing the same thing over and over with this person. That's called insanity, expecting a different result. It's not going to be any different. You're not going to feel any different. The person ain't going to change. He's going to take you for granted, and he's going to keep on taking you for granted. So that's a promise. So I promise I'm going to leave this person alone. I'm going to leave this man alone, and you don't do it. So you got to start somewhere. So the biggest way to start is just saying, no, I don't think so. No. Oh, come on through. No. No, I'm busy. See ya, sayonara. Bye. And make that promise and fulfill that promise. Keep that promise. To stop being around that person. Stop being around that man. Whatever. It's not benefiting you. It's not making you feel good. It's not making you even look good. Okay, to yourself. So yeah. So that in itself, not setting enough time each day aside to work on your goals, to work on your promise. If it's 10 minutes, if it's 20 minutes, just work on it. It could be, I'm telling you, I'm going to keep my nails up. I'm not going to the salon. I'm going to do my own nails. So I got to sit down every week and I got to do my nails. I got to buy the supplies that I need to dry my nails fast and this and the other. But in the long run, I'm not going to spend $50 for a manicure, $25 for a manicure, $55, $65, whatever the case may be, every week or two. So I like getting my nails done, so I continue to get my nails done because I deserve it. For me, that's my opinion, because I've worked all my life, all my adult life. So that's just me. That's what I like to do. But I'm just using that as an example. So then sometimes it's just easier, like I said, to do the same thing. And you get lazy, or just used to it. And it's hard to break out of that mindset, but it can be done. It can be done with self-love. It can be done. Love yourself. Accept yourself. It's only one unique you. That's it. That's it. So love on you. You got to love yourself before you can love anybody else anyway. And then we don't believe that it can actually happen sometime, or we get scared what people might think, or, expect out of us once it does happen, that you're this better person, and it's like, and they're waiting for you to fall, So you kind of like, gosh, you kind of like scared that if I do this and it works, people are going to actually expect more out of me. But so what? You expect more out of you. That's how you cap that, okay? So what can you do to work on this? What can you do to work on your promises each day? Well, you can do old school, or you can set a timer in your phone, each day, and that timer goes off. and you get into it, whether you want to do it or not. Do it. Do it. Whether you want to walk that mile, whether you want to go to the gym, whether you want to take a nap and get more rest, whether you want to meditate, whether you want to cook something different each day, whether you want to learn something different, set that time aside each day and do it. Do it. Do it for yourself. Another thing you could do is meditate on your promise each day. Meditate, visualize, like, once I fulfill this promise to myself, this is how my life is going to change. This is how my life is going to elevate. This is how my life is going to be. It's going to be better. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to look better. I'm going to act better. I'm going to breathe better. Whatever it is, visualize where you want to be. When this promise is fulfilled, then you visualize how it's going to look, how it's going to look on you. And it's going to look good on you. It's going to look good on you. I'm telling you. I know from experience. I know, boy, it's some things that I can look back on and I could just be like, I'm so glad I left that alone. I'm so glad I turned away from that mess. I'm so glad that I decided to try something new. I'm so glad that I reached out, etc. It goes on and on and on. Just don't sit there and be the same every day, every year, every month. Just continuously press on. Say it out loud each day. Say what your promise to yourself. Say it out loud each day. Say your promise out loud each day to yourself. You hear yourself. You're visualizing it. So that's part for the core right there. In old school, put a note somewhere. Put a note on your mirror each day when you're brushing your teeth. You see it, and you might want to smile more. You might want to laugh more. Put a note somewhere around to remind yourself of that. And if you have a good friend or something, or a buddy, or a prayer partner, or whatever, you can confide in them, like, girl, I'm trying to break this habit and I'm making a promise to myself. Girl, you got to be with me. You got to stick to me. You got to stick to me. You got to be on me. When I go off to the left or the right, you got to pull my coat, So a really good friend that you can, share secrets with, that they don't gossip and put all your business in the streets. That's, to help you with your promise to yourself. Okay, so of course you have to reward yourself when you fulfill that promise to yourself. It could be small things. It could be a trip. It could be a cruise. It's whatever. The promise could be you want to go on a vacation, or you're going to go promise yourself you're going to go on a vacation by yourself, do a solo trip. That's when I'm trying to get my mindset into doing a solo trip. So, and just reward yourself. It could be something, like I said, small. It could be, whatever. It could be a diamond ring. It's whatever you got, okay? And most of all, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. You're not going to be perfect doing this promising stuff, You're gonna fall. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna forget. You work each day. You do a lot of things for other people. You may be raising a family. You may be taking care of an ailing parent. You may be ailing yourself. It's hard. That mindset is hard. But if you're taking care of an ailing parent, I feel you. I've done it. I've been there. And I know it's hard. It's hard, okay? It's hard work. But each day, breathe. Even if it's just breathe for 5 minutes. Take care of yourself, okay? And lastly, move in silence. Don't put all your business out there about what you're doing or what you're trying to break. Girl, you ain't gonna do nothing. You've been saying this for years. Oh, girl, you ain't gonna do S, or whatever. You ain't gonna do nothing, man. You ain't gonna get that woman. Look at her and look at you. You ain't gonna get no good woman. You ain't nothing yourself, and da 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 da. Ain't nobody gonna look at you. Whatever. whatever your goal is, you know, you might want a really, you know, good woman. And they're telling you, you ain't gonna never get nobody. You ain't never gonna get nobody like her. Man, I would say go for it. I don't know why I said this. I'm thinking about this, but it's somebody watching right now just saying, hey, I wished I could get with this young woman, young lady, old, whatever. And I'm just too scared to approach her because, you know, I think she's going to shoot me down. Try it. Try it. Make a promise to yourself. And just try it, you know. But put yourself first. Love yourself, okay? And then try it. Go for it, you know. I don't know why I said that, but there's somebody probably watching right now that's in that situation. So, like I said, move in silence because at the end of the day, everyone's going to, and just watch their reaction to the promise that you kept to yourself, the promises that you kept to yourself, and you elevate. You might have to take some people, you might have to leave some people when you fulfill that promise too. That's another reason why a lot of people just stay at the same level because they don't want to move around their circle. They don't want to leave that little circle. They don't want to elevate. You know, it's like, man, you know, my friends are right here. You know, my colleagues are right here. My friends are right here at this level, and I really, but yeah. So like I was saying, that you really might not want to leave that group or whatever, right? But you got to go on and go through this stuff, you know. So that's about all I have. Just remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others, okay? So you all have a blessed day. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification button. And please like and subscribe. It helps my algorithm. It helps me get into the rhythm. So you all have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.